Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 Dreamcast review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at REZ, which if you've never played it before, I really don't know how to describe it other than to say it's an on-rail shooter, but that's not really doing it justice at all. At the start you can simply go into travelling, player, score, attack options and how to play. They're all pretty much self-explanatory. Options wise, you can choose sound mode, you can choose whether or not to invert your aim, you can choose which button's your shot button, which is your overdrive button, you can choose your display and that. There's very little on the customization from that point of view, but there's actually so much in the game, it's unbelievable. Because it's a weird one. It's tiny and short, but at the same time it's massive and huge. It really is the only fair way to describe it, and it'll sound stupid and contradictory. Travelling mode though, as you can probably see on the screen, you play a character does not take damage, and basically you go through and you just... It's, I suppose, essentially a super guide style mode. It's just for people who want to experience the music and the graphics and the visuals and that, because for the time the game was fantastic in every respect, and then it came out as a HD remake and the graphics do indeed get upgraded again. But personally, I think that the game is actually better on the Dreamcast, which is why I bought the Dreamcast version. And it's also something I need to probably warn people of, but I'll go into the game. I'll first say, as you can see here, I've got 3 areas unlocked and there's a 4th on the screen, but there is actually a 5th. And I'll just start with area 1, but the thing I need to warn people about is, I only found out about this and I was sheer lucky with finding out about it. The Japanese version is the version I ended up buying. It's in full English. Honestly, it's as if it's not even a Japanese game. But the reason I bought the Japanese version is not only is it vastly cheaper than the European version, because it is stupidly rare over here, but there's problems on some copies of the European version apparently, and they made it into the public domain, and now because the game's worth so much, people keep flogging these broken copies that have problems and glitches, and it really did scare the hell out of me. I thought it would be just my bloomin' luck that I'll spend 60-70 quid on a stupidly rare game and it'll be a broken one. So I thought I'll just get the Japanese version because there's absolutely no problems with it, and there haven't been. It really is a fantastic game as well. You may be looking at it now thinking it looks boring, but I was the exact same way. I think I played the demo on Xbox Live about 5 times before I committed to buying the game, because I just kept thinking, will I enjoy it, will I enjoy it? And it's one of those, it starts stupendously slow, but then it gets fast really, well, I suppose it's stupid to say it gets fast, but it does. It goes from 0 to 100 in the space of a few seconds. The whole point is, as you can probably notice, as I say, it's probably, I suppose, technically correct to call it an on-rail shooter. There's enemies come up and they can shoot at you if you wait too long and that, and the whole point is if you get hit then you die, unless you've evolved, because you might notice in the bottom left corner there's white squares, and as I keep collecting things I will evolve, and I will eventually evolve into Buddha. I don't know if it's officially called Buddha, but it looks like Buddha, so I'm calling it Buddha. And every time you get hit, therefore, you go back a level until you're at level 1 and then you get hit and you die. But as you level up, you get better. Your character gets like more powerful, and it's just like a general all-around betterness, I suppose. And the design and everything changes, and I mean, you've probably seen this already. I've went from just lines to now on polygons because I've managed to level up. And it's just mental, because in order to really, I suppose, truly beat the game, it's not just about beating the 5 stages, it's about beating them all in one sitting and evolving the truest of evolution in the game as well, because I suppose you could probably beat it just in a case of, well, beat level 1, then you beat level 2, then you go back and you beat level 3, but I think it's one of those games that you're going to want to spend a couple hours just beating it all in one go, trying to get, I suppose, technically a good high score, because as you go through it, I mean, there's no score or anything on the screen, but things are constantly appearing, and it comes up how much you've, I can't even remember the word now, it might be resalized or something, but basically you've got to get 100% on each level in order to unlock the next one. And it's just one of those things that it's very addictive and moreish. It's the type of thing that as I say, I even played the demo 5 times, so it was that actually made me get it, because I thought, well, hang on a second, I'm worried it could be slow, but I've just played a free demo 5 times in a row. Okay, I think I'm going to commit to buying it, and I got it, and I was just overjoyed with how amazing it was. And now that I've finally got a VGA set up, graphically, it's just fantastic. It's so much better, and I was already wowed by it. And considering I'd went from the HD version to a non-HD version, that's saying something. It really is, to still be wowed by the graphics. You might have noticed that I've also got something called Overdrive on the bottom right, and I'm going to push the button and use one of them now. And it basically, I suppose it almost like puts you in a state of zen or something, your character. It's like things slow down so that you have a better reaction time. At least that's the way it feels. Maybe it's just not so much an optical illusion, but maybe it is just an illusion with the way that the game's designed, because of the way things are moving. Whenever I use it, it always actually feels like I've became faster and the game's became slower to allow me more time. But it's just mental, and it's pretty hard to describe why it's good. It's just one of those things that it's an experience that you have to experience to get it and to understand it. There's people who I'm imagining who have probably read reviews before and watched videos and thought, I just don't see why people enjoy this. And I know of 100 games or so that I've had the exact same experience with, that I've thought, why do people keep raving about this? Sin and Punishment was actually one of them. I watched so much video footage and read so many reviews because people kept going nuts, and I thought, this just looks like the biggest heap of crap on the planet. But because of the constant hype, I bought it, and now I am an avid Sin and Punishment fan. I absolutely love it. As I say though, and it's backtracking quite a bit now, I'm aware, because I've been warbling on quite a bit, but it's a short game and it's a huge game at the same time. The 5 levels won't take you that long at all. However, that's not all there is to do. There is a ton of stuff to unlock. There's costumes, there's an immortality mode, there's different viewpoints and that, and if you are addicted to the game enough, you're going to want to unlock everything. So it doesn't matter that the game can probably be beat in about an hour and a half tops, or like 1 to 5 in one go. It's the fact that you're going to do it again and again and again to unlock the other stuff, and just get more gameplay out of it, and to experience it, because it doesn't lose any of its luster after a few goes. I mean, it might after a few years, but it's the type of thing that sometimes you'll get games that are an experience that you'll think, well, I loved every minute of it, but I will never play that again. It is once in a lifetime. Or you'll think, I'll play that again, but maybe in 5 years or something, you know, to try and make it feel fresh again. Whereas this, I think it's the sort of thing that you could probably put on every day of the week for a month and still love it, and then still go back to it in a couple months' time. There are bosses, which is what I'm kind of fighting now, and it's just weird how bosses work. I mean, they get an energy bar and they can attack you, and it's just mainly about focusing and concentrating. They're not exactly the most difficult thing in the world. You just have to figure out the pattern, and then you've just got to have the patience to stick with the pattern. And it's just one of them. It's probably the best way I can describe it. I am struggling to think of things to actually say about the game. I'm struggling to realise what I have said and what I haven't said, so I'm probably about to die, but I'm going to have to consult me notes whilst playing. It's one of them, though. I suppose I should shut up first and let you listen to the music, then I can consult me notes, and then I'll have done this while you watch probably a screen wipe or something, maybe a star wipe. Well, that was a little bit of the music, and I've at least managed to consult me notes a bit. Talk about letting the wind out your sails though. Here's me thinking that Overdrive just made things slow down and your reaction times and all that, and I thought I was just doing really well. Turns out the reason I was able to shoot down so many ships whenever I use Overdrive is it actually fires out a barrage of shots. Kind of a little gutted to learn that now. I honestly thought I'd just been doing well. But it was the game doing it for me. Never mind then. It's one of those things that I honestly could spend hours talking about the amount of things to unlock, but for those worried about how short the game is, if you just head to a certain famous cheat site, there is actually a list of everything there is to unlock, and there must be 40 items on there, easy. There's just all sorts. I mean, there's stuff that I haven't even mentioned. There's the ability to unlock infinite overdrives. There's the ability to unlock new skins, new beam types, new forms to go alongside everything I've already mentioned. I was wrong as well. I knew I would be, but it's not resolution or something, it's analyzation. It's just came up there, and analyzation is not the same as shot down, because as you can see there, I shot down 96.84%. I also got 88% of the support items, so it's not that you have to be 100% on that, it's 100% on analyzation, which is basically at the end of each area a little cube appears and you've got to shoot it down in time. At least that's what I believe it is. I've honestly not missed one in the game, and I've got 100% analyzation on every one of them, so that would be my assumption, that it's that little cube thing that I've been hitting every time. It's one of those, I didn't exactly want to miss one just to see if I'd done it any better or something, you know, or done it any same, just in case it made it worse. But that is pretty much all I can really say about the game. As you might have noticed, when you end a stage it then lets you choose, and that's what I mean by playing through in one go and keeping the evolution. If I was to now exit now, it'll actually tell me, so I'll do it. There, that's it, I've lost my evolution that I was up to, which I think was only level 2 because I got killed on level 3. But it's one of those that means that you are going to want to put a little bit of time aside just to play through it. Score attack mode obviously is where the whole point is, you're going for a score. And it's almost like an old style shooter then, I suppose, because as you can see I'm now getting points for shooting things, and I've got a score in the top right corner, and again it just adds more gameplay to an already massive tiny game. And I know again how stupid that sounds, but it really is the only way I can describe it. It is a massive tiny game. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.